In a society that tends to stress the importance of kindness, compassion, and empathy, the concept of not always being gentle with everyone may seem somewhat contradictory. However, Buddhism provides a deep and meaningful perspective on this subject. Gautam Buddha, the enlightened sage who founded Buddhism over 2,000 years ago, offered wisdom that goes beyond the realm of mere politeness. His teachings dive deep into the core of human relationships, inner peace, and spiritual growth. Let's examine the profound teachings of Gautam Buddha and understand why it's sometimes essential to surpass gentleness and adopt a more nuanced approach to life. At 29, Gautam embarked on a spiritual quest to find answers to life's most fundamental questions. Why do we suffer, and how can we achieve everlasting happiness and inner peace? After years of intense meditation and self-reflection, he attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India. From then on, he became the Buddha, the awakened one, and began imparting his insights to the world. Buddha's teachings are centered around the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. These fundamental precepts form the basis of Buddhism and provide deep insight on how to handle the complexities of human life. The Four Noble Truths serve as the cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy. They provide a solid structure for understanding the nature of suffering and the pathway to liberation. Let's delve into these truths and their connection to the concept of not always being gentle with everyone. Firstly, Buddha's initial noble truth acknowledges the existence of suffering in the world. Buddha recognized that suffering is an inherent aspect of human life, which includes physical pain, emotional distress, and dissatisfaction stemming from constant desire. While consistently being gentle with everyone may momentarily lessen some forms of suffering, it doesn't tackle the root causes. Buddha encourages us to face suffering directly, thus gaining clarity and deep understanding of the nature of suffering and finding effective ways to overcome it. Secondly, the noble truth identifies attachment and craving as the cause of suffering. Being overly gentle with everyone could be a manifestation of attachment and a desire for approval or validation. Buddha instructs us that by letting go of attachment and craving, we can liberate ourselves from suffering. This doesn't imply becoming emotionally unattached, but rather cultivating a balanced and compassionate attitude towards others. Thirdly, the noble truth offers hope by claiming that it is possible to end suffering by eradicating its root causes, attachment, and craving. Once we stop seeking external validation or the need to please everyone, we liberate ourselves from the cycle of suffering. Lastly, the noble truth outlines the Eightfold Path, the path to liberation from suffering. The Eightfold Path promotes the development of discernment and wisdom in our interactions. While being gentle with everyone might appear morally commendable, the Eightfold Path includes the principles of right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. The middle way, often linked with Buddhism, is the practice of avoiding extremes and finding balance, which can be seen as a more nuanced approach to our interactions with others. Balance. The middle way, in the context of not being gentle with everyone, encourages us to find a balance between compassion and discernment. Gautam Buddha himself exemplified the middle way throughout his life. Prior to his enlightenment, he experienced the extremes of indulgence as a prince and extreme asceticism, but it was the balance of the middle way that led him to enlightenment. In our interactions with others, the middle way suggests that we should neither enable harmful behavior through excessive gentleness, nor cause unnecessary suffering through harshness. Instead, we should approach each situation with discernment, understanding when to be compassionate and when to set boundaries. Compassion versus enabling is a significant consideration when it comes to not being gentle with everyone. Buddhism teaches us that true compassion involves a deep understanding of the causes of suffering and a commitment to alleviating that suffering through skillful means. True compassion is not about enabling harmful behavior or sacrificing our own well-being for the sake of others. The parable of the raft beautifully illustrates the concept of not being gentle with everyone when appropriate. The parable emphasizes the temporary nature of Buddhist teachings and the importance of letting go when they have served their purpose. Just like the traveler who leaves the raft behind after crossing the river, our approach to not being gentle with everyone should be adaptable and context-dependent. Sometimes, being gentle and compassionate is necessary, but there are situations where excessive gentleness becomes a hindrance. In such cases, we must adopt a more discerning approach to guide ourselves and others towards liberation from suffering. The middle path is put into action in various ways. Firstly, setting boundaries is crucial. While it is important to be compassionate and accommodating, establishing clear boundaries is equally important for our well-being and healthy relationships. Buddhist teachings view boundaries not as a lack of compassion, but as an act of self-care and wisdom. Secondly, when faced with harmful behavior from others, the middle path encourages us to respond with wisdom and compassion. This may involve addressing the behavior directly, offering support for positive change, or seeking professional help when necessary. It is vital to avoid unnecessary harshness while refraining from enabling harmful actions. Thirdly, conflicts are an inevitable part of human interactions. The middle path teaches us not to avoid conflicts or suppress our feelings, but to approach them with skillful means. This includes mindfulness, active listening, and a willingness to understand the perspectives of others. Instead of being excessively gentle and avoiding conflicts to maintain superficial harmony, the middle path encourages us to engage in constructive dialogue and seek resolutions that promote genuine harmony and balance. Embrace the concept of letting go, understanding that our approach to others and their suffering must adapt and evolve. Letting go of fixed ideas and expectations allows us to respond with greater flexibility and discernment, offering genuine support and guidance based on the ever-changing circumstances of life. In conclusion, the parable of the mustard seed emphasizes the universality of suffering and the limitations of gentleness alone in eradicating it. Buddhism teaches us the importance of skillful means, tailoring compassion, recognizing individual differences, practicing empathy and active listening, and embracing the impermanence of emotions and relationships. By embodying these teachings, we can navigate the complexities of not being gentle with everyone in a way that promotes understanding, growth, and liberation from suffering for ourselves and others.